Hey, glad you're back for this week's Steam Culture. Thankful to our friends at Louisville Water Museum that we get to look at this Allis Chalmers Steam Pump. So last week we looked at the history. This week, let's talk about how it operated. So, what can you tell me about how much water were we moving with this pump?
30 million gallons a day.
30 million gallons a day.
And that's working a 24-hour period. That's what the duty trial was, rated at 30 million. And it took, we're estimated about 27 men for a 24-hour period to operate this pump.
Okay.
You know, you had steam engineers, you had a boiler and firemen, you know, literally the guys in the boiler house throwing the coal into the boilers, and the oil men, all the moving parts needed oil. And it was one guy's job to make sure each of these was filled with oil. They're all the way up to the top, down to the bottom. And that's why they're glass, so he could see if it needed oil or not.
Okay, so Jay, tell us where we're standing.
Yeah, that's kind of like the business end of the operation. So for the steam pump, this is the main steam control wheel here,
okay,
with the main steam pipe coming up. And I read that these were cast steel. They were getting ready for superheated steam, and they needed the cast steel.
Okay.
When this guy first was built, it took 6 months for them to build. They had a 4-inch steam connection because they needed, Louisville Water needed this pump working.
Okay.
This is a 7-inch pipe, and after we got the 7-inch pipe connected, that's when we did the trial duty to make sure the pump was running to the specifications it was supposed to be running.
Okay. So it came right from here, and the boiler house is?
The boiler house is off to my right, your left.
Okay.
And it would come in here, go through the high pressure cylinder, then the intermediate pressure, then the low pressure. And again, this was the main steam control wheel, and the engineer could look at the dials here to see the steam pressure, the revolutions that the flywheels are making, the vacuum, a clock. They needed to know what time it is. That wasn't run by steam. That was a spring.
Not a steam clock?
Not a steam clock.
Disappointing. Well,
and the pressure in the different receivers, and then with the pressure in the discharge.
All right, so you had mentioned earlier that you guys are getting ready to paint this?
We are,
okay,
yes.
So this is so many of these steam engines were installed in the U.S., right? This was not only in Louisville kind of technology.
Oh no, this was Allis Chalmers. They were based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of our visitors know them for farm machinery, but they made, as you can see, huge pumps like this.
Well, it is an awesome thing for you all to keep this up. It's part of the museum tour. If you're ever in Louisville, come by, get a tour. This is an enormous setup. It's just amazing to think that's a lot of steel and a lot of steam. Jay, I appreciate your time. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Join us next Friday. We'll have a new episode. Find us on social media because we're everywhere. So from the large steam engine at Louisville Water Museum, I'll see you next week.